What's up, y'all? I finally got around to checking out RZA's newest movie, One Spoon of Chocolate. And I gotta say, of all the movies that RZA has done, this is his fourth movie. Um, the Man with the Iron Fist, Cutthroat City, which is a heist movie, and Love Beats and Rhymes, which is pretty much a musical, or close to it. But One Spoon for Chocolate, One Spoon of Chocolate is by far his best movie. It's a throwback to 70s grindhouse slash exploitation story. Revenge. That's what this is, with a touch of social commentary. But anyway, the movie opens up and inspired by true events. Spoilers, by the way. There will be spoilers. The movie opens up with a basketball player. He's got the varsity jacket on and all. And he's walking down the road hitchhiking, thumb up and all. He gets picked up in a convertible. A group of white girls that pick him up. They take him off. They take him to the nearest food mart. And when he comes out of the food mart, he's met with a bunch of guys whose faces are covered and they're armed with baseball bats. So they proceed to beat the hell out of him. And then in the next scene, he's on a operating table and his organs are being removed. So that's pretty much what the story's about. A lot of black men are turning up missing around this. I'm not sure if this is a real town or not. I think it is fictional. Karensville, Ohio. But anyway, yeah. The guy's killed, his organs removed, and he's dumped on the side of the road. And then the opening credits. And then we meet, and as we meet our hero of the movie, our lead character, Randy, aka Unique, played by Shamik Moore, who most people might know him as the voice of Miles Morales in the Spider-Verse movies. Anyway, he's an ex-con. He's getting out of prison. He goes to meet his parole officer, played by Blair Underwood. He has to find a place to stay. So, for a little while, he stays at this a shelter for war veterans. But his parole officer, he pulls some strings so that he could go live with family in Ohio. And he takes a bus to Ohio, Karensville, to meet up with to live with his cousin, Ramsey, played by, I forgot that brother's name, but he's been in a few other movies that I do remember. I can't remember, too much weed, I guess, but I've seen him in some other movies too. But anyway, he's reminiscing with Ramsey. They start playing basketball on their whatever video game console they were playing, and then he said, hey, let's go, I want to play some real ball. So they go to the local community center that has a basketball court. But unfortunately, a group of white boys shows up, and they call them all kinds of racial names. You get the idea of who these guys are. They pretty much run the town along with their daddy, who's the sheriff. And that's where the trouble begins. And there's a situation where, first off, Ramsey and Unique. They go on a double date. They go out with Ramsey's girlfriend, Aretha, and her friend Darla, played by Paris Jackson. Who? But anyway, they go out on a date. They have dinner at this place, while at the same time. Oh wait, let me back up. After the white boys call them all kinds of racial names and stuff, they end up kicking their ass, and the ringleader, Jesse, he gets his nose broke, so they go run back to the boy's big brother, Jesse's big brother, who's Jimmy, he's the ringleader. While they're out for dinner, Jesse and the whole gang, they're out looking for Ramsey and Unique, but they're not home. But hey, I know where they are, and they love chicken on Friday night or whatever. But it's it's. I got I got a feeling of uneasiness while I was watching this movie too. But considering the tone and all, and I was at the edge of my seat throughout the whole movie. But anyway, they catch up to him at the liquor store and they take bats to Ramsey's car, and they hit busting out the windows. They tearing the shit out of this car, and Ramsey, he steps on the gas. He runs down one of them, paralyzed one of their guys, and now there's warrants out for him now. But Ramsey ends up in jail. He gets bailed out, but unfortunately, the bail bondsman set him up. Dropped him off at a location where he too winds up just like the guy at the beginning. He's beaten to death with a baseball bat, and his organs are taken out. And word gets back by the local mortician, played by Rockland Dunbar, tells Unique that Ramsey's dead. Allegedly for drunk driving, but the mortician tells him that he had bruises all over his body that are not consistent with a drunk driving accident. And also, when he went to embalm his body, he noticed that the guy's organs were removed. Heart, lungs, everything, you name it. They were all removed. And of course, Unique is pissed off. Oh, by the way, did I mention he's also an ex-military, Army vet. And of course, he's hiding out. And there's also a moment where that Randy, aka Unique, he walks Darla home. As he's walking back to Ramsey's house, Jimmy and the boys, they find him. They chase him down, and he's picked up by another brother. I never knew who his name was. We never got to know this character, but anyway, he too ends up dead the same way. They get chased down this dirt road where it's like a junkyard, I guess. It looks like a junkyard. Ran them off the road. The car catches fire. And they think, the guy and Unique are dead. But Unique pulled him and himself out, and they, saved the guy's life. And he has to hide out at Darla's place. Unique does. So while he's making weapons, and while he's there, he's making weapons. Like a blacksmith, putting all these weapons together and shit. And he's getting pissed. He's pissed now. His cousin's dead, but the mortician tells him, "Hey, you gotta get on the bus and get out of town. This shit is getting ugly." But it leads up to a hell of I love the finale though. I really do. He's got these nuts that he turns into brass. He welded into brass knuckles. He uses a hammer and barbed wire, a wire with spikes around it. Fucks these dudes up. I don't want to go spoil too much of it, but it was a satisfying finale. But the ending, satisfying as it was, it also ended ambiguous. After that last shot, it fades to black and then end credits. And it would have been nice to see the aftermath of that, but I enjoyed the movie for what it is. And of all the movies that I've seen this year, this is my, by far my favorite of 2026. I'll put it that way. But this is my little review for RZA's One Spoon of Chocolate. And if you like my content, leave a comment, like, share, subscribe. And until my next video, I'll see you guys then. Later.